What's going on, everybody? Back some more prize picks, player props, get you winning money tonight. We got WNBA, we got MLB. We are absolutely in fuego over in the premium content. We just swept again last night in the NBA streets, rocking with the Neesmith PRA, the Jalen Williams rebounds, the Shea Gildas over steals. Greened out, bunch of different members winning over there. We got a bunch of different shout outs to go over on my community page. If you haven't headed over here, just go over to my YouTube channel. Click on the community page. You're going to see all these different winners. We got the Miami Go Canes 1 action with the 50 into 300. We got the JC80 with the 10 into 60. We got the Twizzy on Gizzy 30 into 180. He just joined 4 or 5 days ago, and I mean, we just keep winning and winning and winning. He's got to be a very happy, as you can see, he's a very happy camper. The KJK does it again. Message in the winner circle. We had H-Town turning 10 into 60. We had Cool Ken turning 10 into 60. We had Johnny turning 5 into 30. So if you're looking at the screen, you're like, what the heck goes into this? 2 days ago, we swept again. It's back to back to back right now. We had some CS2 props with the David 1DS going over. Once again, Miami Go Canes with a 30 into 180. Then we had the WNBA props with the Alicia Gray over assist. The Brittany Griner under 5.5 rebounds. JC80 with 10 into 60 with those same plays. Once again, Twizzy on Gizzy with the 30 into 180 on that one. So a bunch of different members cashing in over there using the same exact process that I'm about to go over in this one. Looking to keep the luck going today. We got a bunch of different action going on, both WNBA and MLB, so we'll break it down. I'm going to give you guys 6 props in this one. I do have 2 VIP tickets released so far, so I'll give you all the props that I've released over there so far. Just keep in mind, these props are going to change. So we have these locked into 3-pick power plays. I'd recommend locking these into 3-pick power plays. So I'll just give you all 6 props so far. I'll have a bunch more over there. If you haven't joined, I'll have it linked down below. It's really a no-brainer, guys. There's a bunch of different options. So you can get 7 days completely free with the launch-off member package. That'll get you in the door, give you 1 optimal play per day for 7 days completely free. Really, if you're playing every single day on these apps, the best value is going to be right there in the middle, the most popular package with the VIP member package as far as these player props apps are concerned. And then the platinum member package is going to be the next top level. If you're someone that's playing a lot of money every day, you know, it would make sense to go ahead and invest over there. So once again, we'll have WNBA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, and we will also talk some MLB. Bunch of different games going on tonight there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You get the point. We got a bunch of different actions, so it's a great time to join over in the VIP if you haven't already. If you're someone that's playing on these props apps every single day, if you haven't signed up for Prizepicks, use the promo code KJKDFest. They'll give you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 with my promo code KJKDFS or my link down below. That same rule applies to Underdog Fantasy, Betr Picks. I'll have all of my links down below. So let's talk about it. I got 6 props. And once again, we have these locked into 3-pick power entries. I'm just going to give you all 6. And then if they change the props or take them off the board, you can pick the 3 that are still available. That's what's going to happen when you get good plays. I hate to say it. That's why, you know, the premium content exists. You get instantly notified. This free content, I'm going to try to hook you up with some really good plays here right now. If they all get taken on the board or if the line changes, I can't control that. But let's talk about it. All right, fact check. 5 of the props are still available at the time of recording, so I'm going to give you all 5, and then you can lock in, once again, these in 3-pick power entries. We'll talk about it. One of the tools I'm using every single day is going to be the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, guys. If you don't have this tool, I would highly recommend you check them out. I am using it every day. It's the same tool that I'm using to find these props. You saw all the winners in my winner circle over in the premium. If you don't want to do all the research yourself, or if you can't afford this software, that's where you should head over. But if you can, you like to do your own research, this is where it's at. 25% off. Once again, linked down below. All my links. It'll give you 25% off, and this is giving you multi-million-dollar sportsbook data pulled into an optimizer. Straight to the point. We got a 53.09% chance to hit on the over 4.5 assists here for Brittany Sykes. Why is that? Because she's favored at -130 on Pinnacle, -132 on FanDuel, -135 on Caesars. If you have no idea what this means, for instance, FanDuel Sportsbook, -132, you're going to have to risk $132 to win $100 to take the over. So we don't care whether we're taking the over or the under. We're just using the multi-million-dollar sportsbook data to tell us which side is favored, which side has a higher likelihood to win, and we're taking those props. Now, they price in all of these things, factoring in the matchup, the assist opportunities per game, the minutes, all the things you think you can research. That's what this price tag is factoring in. So when people learn this concept, they go, oh, I mean, how are you doing this? Why are you just looking at this price tag? How is that going to help you actually win? Because they know, how many minutes Sykes is expected to play. They know the matchup. They know all of these different things. How many assists she averages per game. They know the injury report. The one thing I'll say is you do want to know the injury report. I'll admit that when you're looking at this data, because if somebody's questionable or something, and then for instance, Tiffany Hayes, she's a very key part of this Golden State Valkyries team here tonight. She's listed as questionable. So that's a good example of something that matters as far as, the current data with the multi-million-dollar sportsbook data. If she gets ruled out, that'll change. But I'm always paying attention to that. And when it comes to the Washington Mystics, we have a full-on confirmed injury report. So the Mystics, there's no pending injury news. So Brittany Sykes expected to start the guard. There's no pending injury news, right? So we can go ahead and take this data at face value. They have all the updated injury report. They know how many minutes everybody's expected to play. Everything's confirmed. So the price tag we're seeing right now is going to be the best, most accurate data points, we could be looking at. So Sykes, over 4.5 assists, phenomenal prop. Another tool that I'm using every day is going to be Outlier if you don't have them. Go ahead and take advantage of my link down below, guys. 7 days completely free. Completely free. Once again, I'm trying to give you as much free value as possible on the channel. This is the same concept with that multi-million-dollar sportsbook data to go along with a bunch of underlying statistics as well. So Outlier does a phenomenal job of that. You can bring in Brittany Sykes. I have her pulled into the prop screen here. I like to go ahead and sort this by implied probability. This row right here, that's going to give you the percentage chance of your prop to hit. It's that same concept I just discussed with the multi-million-dollar sportsbook data brought in, telling you the percentage of this prop that is expected to hit on the over or the under. We go down to her over 4.5 assists. You can see right now, Brittany Sykes favored. Once again, they're bringing in all this different data, all the way up to -147 on the over on Sleeper, 146 on Underdog, 135 on Hard Rock Bet, 135 on DraftKings. And the beautiful thing is they highlight if this is a good or bad matchup for the prop you have selected. So we have the over 4.5 assists. You can see this bright green here. They're telling us this is a good matchup for her over. Let's say that we wanted to go ahead and, highlight the under here for her, right? We go over to the under, we hit done. Now we have the under selected. You see how it's red? They're saying this is a bad matchup for the under because they're giving up a lot of assists. So we don't want to take the under, we want to take the over. They bring in the multi-million-dollar sportsbook data. They bring in the underlying metrics. Beautiful tool. Once again, if you're someone that likes to do, your research, and you can use that multi-million-dollar sportsbook data like I teach, it's kind of a 2-for-1 special at the same time here. Hopefully that makes sense. So she's taking on Chicago. They're 10th in the league as far as assists are concerned. There's only 13 teams in the WNBA. They're very clearly bad at giving up a bunch of assists, 21.1 assists per game. Brittany Sykes is a guard. If we go to the guard position, most notably, they're 12th in the league, giving up 14.1 assists per game to the guard position. So this data does a beautiful job of bringing in the underlying statistics and the market data. The market knows all of these things, so it's a great way for me to just run my mouth and show you, why she should be favored on the over. It's a good matchup for the over. They're giving up a ton of assists. That's why they're charging this price tag on the over. The problem is these apps change these lines very quickly. So that's why, I get straight to the point with the market data when I'm looking at plays. Hopefully that makes sense. So Brittany Sykes, first play that we're going to talk about here on the channel today will once again be her assist line at the 4.5. At the time of recording, it is still available. Would not surprise me in the least if it moves to 5 even, or if they take it off the board. If that happens, that stinks, but that's why I'm going to share with you some even more props on the channel today. Let's move along to the next one. Next prop, we got the under 3.5 3-pointers for Ryan Howard. Once again, multi-million-dollar sportsbook data, a ton of different data points. -130 on the under on DraftKings, -130 on BetMGM, -135 on Caesars. There are millions and millions of dollars, all telling us that she should go under tonight, the 3.5. And we look at the injury report. Once again, the only thing that's going to make that data possibly inaccurate is, are there any pending injuries for the Atlanta Dream? No, there are not. So all, the starting lineup, the pending injury news, all of that stuff's being factored in. The matchup, the New York Liberty defense, all of that is being factored in to these prices. There's a reason she's favored on the under, and I'll go ahead and tell you, she's going to be facing a good defender tonight is, the easiest way to lock it down. They're probably anticipating, Brianna Stewart, Kendi Burke, Ionescu, whoever the case may be, that's going to match up with her to lock her down. And then we go ahead and we go over to Outlier. As stated, we can bring in, we can go on over to the prop screen. We can type in Ryan Howard. Let's see the implied probability once again. We go down, we go down, we go down. We're talking about the Prizepicks platform. So there's a bunch of different props you can take, obviously, on 1,000 different sports books. We're talking specifically the props that are available on Prizepicks. The under 3.5 3-pointers right here, you can see a 54% chance to hit on the under. We go ahead and we bring up the data. She's favored once again on all of these different sports books. They're bringing that data in, and then you look at the matchup. The Liberty, 7th best in the entire WNBA as far as not giving up threes. We go to the guard position most notably. They're 10th, giving up 6.7, but then Outliers always going to bring in the underlying statistics and tell you, you know, she's taking 10.6 3-pointers per game. She's shooting 31% from behind the arc. So it makes a lot of sense. What they're saying is essentially she's, based on the averages, she's either going to make 3 or 4 3-pointers tonight. And on average, she's shooting 30% from behind the arc. She's taking 10 per game. She's probably going to make 3. There's a higher likelihood she makes 3 than 4. That's all this is. It's a game, you know, it's a game of probability statistics when you're really trying to make money on these apps. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but you can just look at these price tags. They're already factoring these in. Like I said, I think it's smart to look at the injury report, make sure nobody's pending so that we have the latest and greatest market data that's factoring in all of the confirmed lineup and the confirmed matchups. And that's exactly what we have. There's nobody questionable on either side of this game, so we can feel confident locking that in. The second prop on the video going to be the Ryan Howard under 3.5 3-pointers, okay? So once again, this could get removed off the board. This could get taken down. If that happens, that stinks. That's what happens when you get good plays. I can't control that. All that I can do, you know, is give you as much free value as possible. Once again, this is a prop that we do have locked into some VIP tickets already. And then for the next, so we just went over 1, 2 props. We got 3 more. We'll hurry up and get these things done with. We'll stick in the WNBA for number 3. Back to the DGF optimizer. We're taking the Ariel Atkins under 3.5 assists. Same concept. Minus 136 on the under on FanDuel. Minus 136 on the under on Pinnacle. We're getting minus 122 in a 3-pick power play, I should mention. Is anybody out? You know, is the market factoring in all of the different things? She plays for the Chicago Sky. We look at the Chicago Sky's injury report. It's in that same game we talked about with the Washington Mystics. The only person that's questionable or out, whatever the case may be, is Jefferson. She's already confirmed out. So we know Nurse, Atkins, Allen, Reese, Cardoso expected to be the starting 5. Everything's confirmed. We can go ahead and we can take this market data at face value, the millions of dollars dumped in, know that it's accurate. There's nothing pending. The under 3.5 assists is looking like a phenomenal play. We head on over to Outlier. Let's see the underlying statistics. Let's make it nice and snappy for you guys. Why would she be favored on her under 3.5 assists? Why would you do that? Well, because Washington's 5th best in the entire WNBA and not giving up assists. She's listed as a guard. We go to that. They're 9th, but overall, they're just not giving up the most assists. The forward position, most notably, they're very good at defending, only giving up 4.2 assists per game on average there. That's all factored in here. Then we can go to look at the insights on Outlier. She's failed to exceed 3.5 assists in 8 of her last 9 games versus top 5 defenses for assists allowed. That's the exact matchup she has here tonight, taking on a top 5 team in assists allowed, number 5 in the league. She's been under. She went over the last time, but 8 out of 9 times, very good. They bring in all that data, boom, at your fingertips. We can look at the multi-million-dollar sportsbook data, the underlying metrics, side by side. We know everything matches up. We're giving ourselves the best chance to win. Now we'll switch on over to the MLB streets. We got 3 props knocked out here. We do have 2 more on the channel today. They will both be MLB props. We'll make it nice and speedy for you. They will both be in the later games. We'll be talking the Seattle Mariners game at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll be talking the Cleveland Guardians and San Francisco Giants game starting at 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Bryan Woo, under 18.5 pitching outs. Crazy amount of data on the under on this one. I mean, this is like the best you can ask for. Minus 142 on Pinnacle, minus 130 on FanDuel, minus 130 on DraftKings, minus 130 on BetMGM, minus 133 on Caesars, minus 140 on BetOnline, minus 145. All of these different sports books have, you know, pretty aggressive juice. We're getting minus 122 implied odds in a 3-pick power play on Prizepicks. Every other place you look at here, you'd have to go and risk way more than the minus 122 we're getting. So this is a phenomenal prop to be taking in a 3-pick power entry on the Prizepicks platform. We go to Outlier. Does the, you know, do the underlying statistics match up? They almost always do. We go on over to the MLB. We type in Mr. Bryan Woo here. Let's bring him in. What do they have? What's the implied probability? What are the best props that we can take for Bryan Woo here tonight? And we go to the under 18.5 pitching outs. I have the Outlier Pro plan, which tells you when there is a play with good expected value. And that's exactly what we have here on the Prizepicks platform. Minus 119 price tag on a 5 or 6 pick flex. So you're getting an even better price tag on a 5 pick. But 3 picks, you know, it's going to be easier to hit 3 picks and you're getting minus 122. It's not bad at all. With the new 6x payout on Prizepicks, it's really good stuff. He's at a minus 143 price tag on Pinnacle, minus 130, minus 130. I already talked about all that stuff. But I mean, just a phenomenal prop to be taking on the Prizepicks platform in your 3-pick entries. because you're gonna have to risk way more in all these other, sports books. They're all factoring, his pitch count, everything. They're saying he's gonna go out there and throw 6 innings tonight and then get taken out of the game. Is what these odds are telling us. That's all we need. We need him to go out there, throw a 6 in today's MLB. Sometimes these pitchers get pulled when they're not even at a high pitch count after 6 innings. They just hand it over to the bullpen. It's very common. So the odds reflect that. It makes a lot of sense, right? So the Brian Wu under 18.5 pitching outs, really good prop to be taken advantage of. Hopefully that does, stay available for you guys after I drop this video. If it doesn't, though, once again, I'm giving you 5 props, so just take the ones that are available. The last prop, last but certainly not least, of the 5 that are still available, is going to be the no runs first inning allowed in the San Francisco Giants and Cleveland Guardians game. So for this one, you have to go to the MLB board. You'll have to go to the first inning runs allowed column, go down, look at Mr. Slade Sassoni and Robbie Ray, and we will be taking the under. Why? Let's bring up the data. San Francisco Giants taking on the Cleveland Guardians. Same concept, guys. All this data is brought in. The no runs first inning. You can go to any sports book and take this Giants versus Cleveland Guardians no runs in the first inning, and you're going to have to risk, minus 132 on the under on FanDuel, minus 140 on DraftKings, minus 145 on Caesars. All of these, all the way up to minus 150 on Fliff. So all of these different sports books charging you a way higher price tag than the minus 122 we're getting. Why? Because they know the 2 starters. They know Robbie Ray is a very good starter. They know Slade Sassoni is a solid starter. And, it's in San Francisco. It's only 61 degrees. The colder the temperature, the ball doesn't fly as much. It's in a pitching environment in San Francisco. If you didn't know, San Francisco is a great pitching environment overall. You see this red as far as the hitting environment. That means it's good for pitchers, not so friendly for hitters. You got $3.99 to straightaway center. Deep in the alleys and left center, right center. It doesn't give up a lot of power. There aren't as many home runs. I mean, really the only thing you're looking at is, that right field deep gap. If a ball gets in the gap towards right center, it does play friendly for those triples and doubles because, as you can see, that huge alcove in the right center. But outside of that, man, it's a great pitching environment. I keep repeating myself. These multi-million-dollar sports books know all this stuff, so they're charging a way higher price on the under. So we can take all this data, use it, take advantage of it. It's the same process that went into all the winning tickets you saw at the beginning of the video that I talk about over in my VIP. This is the data that I'm using. It costs a lot of money for this data, but it works. I mean, 30 into 180 here, 10 into 60 here. It goes on and on. We talked about, I have CS2 plays over there as well. I got NBA. We just cashed in on the NBA with a 3-pick winner last night. And, I mean, as I have my Discord pulled up, when you purchase the product, you're going to get access to my Discord. It's all legitimate. You can see I sent this in at 10:52 a.m. yesterday. And then that game played out last night, and you saw the results. So, I mean, you can look at the box score, look at the timestamp as far as me sending it in, and no, it's all legitimate, people. If you want to join over there, I just broke down the full process as well. I always break down the process on the channel. If you're someone that's looking to invest in somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, you got a bunch of stuff going on. Wife, husband, kids, girlfriend, boyfriend, job, whatever's going on in your life. I can save you a lot of time, both on the free content, but then also over in the premium Discord. Once again, they change these lines so quick. I did try to give you as much value as possible in this one for free here today. Gave you 5 props that I am actually playing. Am actually promoting over in my premium content to help you out here today. So we'd love to have you join over there if you're interested. We'd love to have you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below if you enjoyed the content. Wishing you all of the best of luck on all of your WNBA player props tonight, the MLB player props tonight. We got a bunch of different games going on. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one.